Hello everyone, bonjour tout le monde. Welcome to EFA162 on this Monday, August 31st. Today I'm speaking to all leaders. All leaders seeking improvement. And when I say all leaders, I'm talking everyone. Leaders of families, leaders of communities, leaders of government, corporate, private, all realms of all life, of everything. Leaders in everything, okay? That's who I'm speaking to right now, all of you. Also, those leaders that are looking for improvement. Okay, and improvement in focus, improvement in productivity, improvement in efficiency, improvement in everything in life that ties to your family, that ties to your community, that ties to your work, that ties to your professional, social, business, whatever life. The New England Journal of Medicine, and those that follow my podcast, you'll hear me talking about politics, talking about community, talking about health, right? Bringing it to center. And a lot of this stuff that is being brought to center right now and being brought front and center, but also is by a lot of medical experts that live and breathe this field that I'm talking about, which is going to get into fasting. But what's interesting is I get educated by following a lot of podcasts. And then I heard about this New England Journal of Medicine information that happened sometime in January about fasting. And I went and looked it up. And basically, the New England Journal of Medicine, December 2019, January 2020, just recently, like not that long ago. And you know how you watch a video and it looks like it's brand new, but it was true years ago, it was released, the information. A lot of information takes time to get out there, right? So what I found out about this New England Journal of Medicine is that what they found, what they released in their information, and that just as a quick synopsis here, if you go and read it, that fasting triggers metabolic switch glucose-based to ketone-based energy. So basically what that means is it feeds on fat and we feed on the recycle. So we talked about autophagy. They understand that. Basically, when you autophagy mode, when you allow your body to go into fasting, which I follow the 16-hour plus rule. I average 23. I'll talk about that, but minimum 16 hours based on everything that I looked out there. That's me. But if you allow your body to do that, it feeds on its fat and its recycle, like the bad protein cells and all that stuff. That's what it does. So it feeds on that, right? And that's how ketosis happens, and instead of glucose based, right? So there's an increase in stress resistance. What they're finding, those that fast, that medical study, this is the New England, the New England here, Journal of Medicine. They found that there's an increase in stress resistance, an increase in longevity, and a decrease in incidence of diseases, including cancer and obesity. And this is just a synopsis. If you want to go and read up on it, the reason why I'm going here is it ties into everything that people in the field, that the medical experts that live it, knowledge, training, and experience, but also anecdotally have been saying, right? And there's research upon research upon research out there that backs all this up. Now, this is good. This is good, right? But a lot of experts out there will tell you it'll take 10 to 20 years before the medical practitioners start prescribing this way also, right? As part of their prescription process, discussion about nutrition and so forth, right? So this here, how important this is, your immune system. When you hear, and you hear these terminologies, boosting your immune system, especially with COVID, right? Boost. Well, you only have one immune system, right? You're born with it, like your autophagy and that kind of stuff, your DNA, it's what you're born with. So you're already born with it at its optimum, right? Unless you have medical conditions and you're born with, unfortunately, medical situation, diseases, that kind of stuff, that conflict with what you have. But you're born with an optimum machine already. Your immune system is your immune system. Right, and the reason I'm getting at that, it is already at optimum level when you're born with it. So you can't really boost something that's already at its optimum level, right? Unless, right, one of the things is keeping your engine clean. And this is where I talked about this on previous EFAs and that kind of stuff, and that nutrient dense world that I'm in from education and following all that principle and that clarity and that focus. Well, when you keep your engine clean, and I've said this many times, like people that own businesses, people that own equipment, people that boats, bikes, trailers, all that stuff, right? They always keep their machines clean. The good mechanics out there, the people that take care of their businesses and that kind of stuff, they keep everything clean. Well, the body's the same thing, right? So to keep it at optimum level, we need to keep our engines clean. That's us. And how do you do that? That's your nutrient dense food and all that. adding performance. Unless you had steroids and that kind of stuff, there's no adding of performance, right? There's adding of fulfilling and the receptors, that glass analogy that I had before. When I was pouring water into that water of glass, I filled it, but there was more water here, but this glass was full. And I was saying, you can't add any more. The volume, the vessel is full, right? Well, the same thing, if you fill yourself up with nutrient-dense foods and that kind of stuff, which I'm going to get into, that whole adding performance and performance enhancing, that's what that is. By filling yourself with nutrient-dense food and nutrient-dense, etc. And this is, I'm going to get into this field here, but your supplements, your nutraceuticals, your water, your real food, and your fasting, you combine all that. And when I say real food, if it's been in storage for a year or 6 months, or if it's been modified, or if it's been, do you know what I mean? If it's grown with gases and not by nature, like we've talked about this before, I've worked on farms and that kind of stuff, and you can store food for a very long time in certain conditions. And now, engineering-wise, company-wise, they pre-pick food and store it for a very long time before you even reaches your table. You eat it. That education is out there for a long time, right? We all know that. So that's when I say that's not real food, or if it's been modified or grown in gas, that kind of stuff. But you combine all this, and people in this field that study this, people that study that practice. There's doctors that practice medicine, and you look at them, they don't look healthy, right? There's people that are dietitian, and you look at them, you're wondering, how the hell are you a dietitian, right? And it's the same thing in this field. There's people that study life and longevity and diseases and that kind of stuff, and you go and watch them, how they live and how they eat and that kind of stuff. You'd be like, you know the truth and you live this way? But that's life, right? So that's why I'm talking to all leaders. Leaders in family, leaders in communities, leaders in business, private, corporate, government, whatever. People that think this way would follow this. Knowing the knowledge that is based on knowledge, training, and experience, and based on medical facts, and based on everything that research-wise is out there, and knowing that this will give you clarity and focus and more efficiency, etc. in life, and give you longevity. And I tell my business friends all the time, why do we work so hard? So we can be sick in our 60s, 70s, and 80s, right? Why? How about we do it so we can be disease-free? But living this way is a greater chance of living a full disease-free life with focus and clarity and efficiency and so forth. So, in closing, when you think about people in that field that actually preach the words but don't practice it, right? That's how hard it is, discipline-wise, if you think about it, right? If you study something, it's like people that study cigarette and cancer, right? But smoke. And I've talked about this. People at the cancer ward, they'll be outside smoking, right? They're stage 4 and they're outside smoking, right? That's how hard that is. So that's my point to all this. I'm talking to leaders, and the leader of you. If you're ready to take over your life, and if you're ready to make changes, and you're ready to feel like, I want to feel better about me, right? This is there. This is free. This is easy to do once you're ready to lead. Once you're ready to lead your life, once you're ready to the leaders that want to add more efficiency, if you want to talk about performance and adding, if you want to add more efficiency and add more performance to you, this is it. This is it. Jean-Guy Bourguignon, EFA162.